Yo, what's going on, guys? And of course, we got to talk about Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic looking like a legit squad. So before we start today's video, I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you guys agree with me? The Orlando Magic, 3-1. They are a well-oiled machine, one that you should be fearful of. So let me hear your opinions down below. Let's get it. Now, when we look at this team currently, I know there's probably questions as are they going to be good enough? I personally think Paolo Banchero is looking like he's going to be an MVP candidate potentially. The guy's averaging 28.5 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists while shooting 48% from the field, 6 3-point attempts a game on 39%. And then you have next to him Franz Wagner dropping 21, 5 and 3 while also shooting 6 threes a night on 44%. Then you have Jalen Suggs actually looking like he's going to be that guy that we hoped he'd be. And then Mo Wagner is looking like a 6-man of the year candidate. Anthony Black is a defensive 3-point shooting facilitating maestro. And you also sprinkle in Gary Harris and Wendell Carter Jr. And the craziest thing is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope so far has not been able to be effective at all. He's actually struggled. And this team is out the gates just firing on all cylinders, and it's absolutely a joy to watch, especially with how young this core is and understanding that they have the pieces to go ahead and be a team that surprises people. And they were already a playoff team last year. And I said it before. The one concern I have with the Orlando Magic is that they don't have a true third guy. That in a night when Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero have a shooting slump, do they have a guy in Jalen Suggs, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Mo Wagner to pick up the slack when Franz and Paolo don't have good of games? I know Goga and Jonathan Isaac are out, but those guys aren't going to be that aforementioned players. But as I said tonight, going against a Pacers squad that I know is 1-3, so I know some people are going to be there, but Jalen Suggs had 25 points, Mo Wagner had 14, Paolo Banchero had a career-high 50 points, 13 rebounds and 9 assists to go with that, and Banchero had 37 of those points in the first half. And I think at this point, when you're looking at this, the Magic just were able to just continue to do what they do and just chop wood and carry water and be this unit that was able to hold on to the lead at the very end of the game where the Pacers were trying to muscle it back, but then Banchero silenced the game with that steal. And as I said before, it's crazy to think about, they're really the two most effective guys off the bench this far this season have been Mo Wagner and Gary Harris, and not Gary Harris, Mo Wagner and Anthony Black, a little bit of Gary Harris, but Gary Harris, Cole Anthony, and Jett Howard and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope have struggled. Also, by the way, Wendell Carter Jr. is making sure people remember how good he was. So I'm just looking at this team, getting somewhat excited by just the possibilities of what they're capable of doing. It's evident that they are a team that is very, very gifted and one that is going to continue to make noise and be a threat to other teams. Again, I do believe still, not having that tertiary score is going to be something to have concern, but the Cavs, the Celtics are the only two teams so far that have looked better than the Orlando Magic. I think the Magic have looked better than the Heat, the Bulls, the Hawks, the Wizards, the Nets, the Sixers, the Knicks, the Hornets, the Raptors, the Pacers, and the Bucks and the Pistons to start off the season. So for people to just think that I'm just saying this just to say this, no, it's because they legit look that good and that fun. And I wonder if this is going to be something that's potentially could carry over. And I really do hope it does, because they are evidently a team that I think has repeatedly shown that they should be messed with. I mean, last year they won 47 games. The expectation should be 50 games this season. And as Paolo goes through this season, I think the question was going into this year was making sure that he was ready to take that step as an MVP candidate. And I think we're seeing that, yeah, I think he is ready to take that step and going to be someone who could maybe come in and I think be a bit more impressive than one would think. Now, one of the biggest things when I look at a guy like Paolo that I've had is, will the offensive creation be efficient enough? And any fears I had about that, he's just quieting them. So, and then Franz Wagner, we were wondering if he was ever going to find the 3-point shot again, and evidently he has found his 3-point shot again. So it goes back to what I'm saying is, like, every time you have a question about this team, you wonder, and then they do an incredible job of answering it to the point where you're like, oh damn, maybe I was the schmuck, maybe I was the one who proceeded with doubt, and look at what's happening. So I think this is a team that, just from a defensive standpoint, their point of attack defense is great. As I said before, they have themselves a guy in Mr. Anthony Black, Gary Harris, Contavious Caldwell-Pope. All of them are great defenders that I think are showing that they can be, guys who help a team like, the Orlando Magic's become able to, I think, be impact players or impact team in the playoffs. I don't know. I think it'll definitely be interesting to see how it all plays out. I'm curious. What is your guys' expectation, and what do you guys think the next few weeks biggest questions are going to be as we go ahead and see, like, hey, these are teams that are definitely trying to go ahead and figure out, like, hey, how do we maximize this window and make this team better than one would initially as supposed. So that's just my thoughts on everything, and I want to hear your guys' opinions. If you guys agree with me, if not, I'm definitely over here to hear people's opinions, and I just think it's a really interesting situation that we have brewing here, as I think the Orlando Magic are a team that could surprise people to the point that it really could get fun out there. And I think a lot of people are going to try to find ways to not give this team their flowers, which I think is just disrespectful because they're deserving of said flowers. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at with this. And if you guys are in agreement, I want to hear your opinions. Like, what do you think could be like the biggest part for a team like this? I think when you look at the situation that people have put themselves, when you just try to figure out, like, oh, is this the situation that I want? Can this be maximized to be actually a feasible basketball team? Or are we just, thinking outside the box too much? I think that might be sometimes the question that one might ask. But yeah, I think that's all I have right now. I will stop wasting your time with me just rambling here. But I do appreciate everybody who stuck around for the video. And yeah, you're cool, it seems. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. I hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good jazz, and maybe in the future we'll be able to do more. Also, Wilds. So this is just out of sync. Okay, bye.